Hey yo, what's good reader fam? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be attempting a 24-hour readathon. I honestly never thought that I would do one of these, and yet here we are. We're doing it. Never say never, I guess. I have really low expectations for this readathon, but I'm also low-key feeling really ambitious. Like, I want to slay this, so I'm gonna take my invisible sword and slay it. Watcha! It's currently 2 in the afternoon, but I just wanted to come on here and film an intro. That way the introduction doesn't cut into my precious reading time. Not that I won't have time for reading, because I'll have plenty of time for reading. But I'm gonna share with you my TBR for this shindig. First up here I have Restore Me by Tahereh Mafi, the 4th book in the Shatter Me series. This is actually the Booksplosion book of the month for the month of March. And this is the book that I have to finish because our live show is in like 2 days and I have yet to read this book. So it's happening. I'm gonna be plowing through this book with my eyeballs. I'm sure our live show for this book is already up, so I will leave a link to that down below in the description. Then I want to read Flying Lessons and Other Stories by a bunch of different authors. This is an anthology with a focus on diverse stories, and I just felt like this would be an easy thing to get through for a readathon. While I will be trying to read both these books with my eyeballs, I'm also going to be listening to the audiobooks for both of these books. That way I'm making sure that I'm staying on track. Then I'm going to be reading White Rose. This book is told in poems, which I felt like would be a good option for a readathon because it could be quick. Because poems, easy peasy lemon squeezy. This takes place in the 1940s during World War II, and we follow a college girl who decides to go up against the Nazis. I have one last thing on my list. There could potentially be more that I get to, but I don't want to overdo it when it comes to my TBR, because that's when I'm like, I can't read anything if I have too many options, you know, so I want to like keep it within this range. Anyway, Tokyo Ghoul volume 13. I've actually already read this volume, but I'm gonna reread it because I feel like I need to reread it in order to finish off this series. There's only one other volume left in this series. There is a spin-off series. Not sure if I'm gonna read that spin-off series just yet, but I want to finish this series and I felt like I needed to reread this volume in order to carry on. So that's the plan for this 24-hour readathon. I really hope that this doesn't make me burn out, because I feel like it could potentially just make me not want to read at all. I have a tough relationship with readathons. Like, I feel like they often just put a lot of pressure on me and make me not want to read. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm also trying my best to keep my expectations low, even though I want to read all the things and I want to do my best. Okay guys, it's 11:37. I've got my book, I've got my notebook, I'm ready to go. I was thinking about the fact how this readathon could have started earlier in the day. Like, why did I feel the need to start this at 12 a.m? I guess that's just because it's how it normally goes. Anyway, my plan for when it turns midnight is that I'm going to be reading Restore Me. I'm gonna try to just read for an hour and then I'm gonna go to bed because I need my sleep. 11:59, the countdown begins. I'm ready, got my book, I'm ready to read the night away. AKA read for an hour and then go to bed. Any day now. I could be reading already, but I'm just staring at the clock. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Change. 12 o'clock. It's reading time. Let's go. Okay guys, I read for an hour. This book is super fast. I mean, I am listening to the audiobook on 2x speed while I'm reading this with my eyeballs, but also just the pacing of the story is hecka fast, and I am really thankful for that. This is the perfect choice for a 24-hour readathon. I mean, there are literal pages in this book that are just the name of the point of view you're about to get, which seems kind of pointless to me, but it's also making this book kind of fast. Like, I've read how many pages so far? 86 pages so far, and like 10 of those pages were just pages like this. So far, this story is really enjoyable. I'm just glad to have the character Kenji back in my life because he just makes everything so great. I need a spin-off series with just Kenji. I would pay big buckaroos for that. The topic of masculinity was brought up in this book and how corrupt it is, and I just really liked reading about that. And I hope that it's kind of explored more throughout this book. I don't know if it will be, but that is a topic that I really like reading about. And I really like something that is developing in this book. I can't say what it is because spoilers, but something is developing that I'm liking and I'm kind of finding surprising, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So that's my update for now. I'm gonna go to bed now. I'm gonna try to wake up pretty early in the morning and read my butt off tomorrow. It's gonna go down. It's gonna happen. I am committed to killing this 24-hour readathon, even though I'm not confident at all. Somebody help me. Can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? Will I be able to do it? Will I slay? I don't know. Let's see. Wait and find out. Hoo-ha, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. I'm losing my mind. I need to go to bed. Okay. Good night. Good morning guys, it's 8 o'clock on the dot. I'm plugging back into the Restore Me audiobook and I'm going to be reading it along with listening to it. That way I am fully immersed in the story, and also that way I can take notes while still listening to the book as it carries on, because that method is really working for me right now. I've got my coffee here ready to be slurped down, and I've got my Hogwarts blanket because it's kind of chilly in here. I would be reading in my bed right now, but I'm kind of tired and I'm afraid that I would just fall asleep if I were to read in my bed, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna pass on that. I have to leave here at 10:30 to go to a a cafe to have better internet, because today my Michelle Obama video is going live, which by the time you're watching this, that video is already live, so I will leave a link to it down below in the description. I don't really have the best internet here, so I'm just gonna go to a cafe so that way I can be kind of ready for social posting, but I'm probably just gonna stay at that cafe after I get all the social posts up and read. Also guys, I woke up with a sore throat. I don't know if it's allergies or if I'm sick, but I'm just trying to ignore it. I'm just like, nope, my throat is not sore. I'm fine, it's fine. I am not getting sick. This is what I usually do when I get sick. I just ignore it and I keep going. Anyway, enough chit chatter, let's get to reading.
There might be a bit of paper left under the pool of coffee. Try to remember what I wrote and you just laugh. We better have a talk, think it might last until it's dark. When the candlelights are out, I really think it's goodbye. I didn't love you anyhow. Now I'll make it.
Okay, I have gotten 261 pages into Restore Me. This book is flying by a lot faster than I expected it to, but I am okay with that. This was a good pick for this readathon. Does that look creepy if I leave that right there? Yeah, it kind of looks creepy. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I'm gonna do a book haul right now because I received some book mail. Did I wait to open it on camera? Heck no. I was gonna do like a book mail unboxing segment, but I got too excited. Sometimes that happens. Actually, that happens a lot of the time. Sorry, not sorry. This portion of the video is being sponsored by the Shindell series along with Quirk Books. And the first book that I have here is Shindell, A Natural Warrior by Leslie I. Landis. In this book, we follow the perspectives of Jamie Chin and Robin Dell, which that literally just clicked in my mind as to why this book is called Shindell. Jamie Chin, Robin Dell, Chindell. Smack the, ooh. For some reason, I just felt really bad smacking this cover because it's got a face on it. I'm sorry, cover model. I'm sorry for smacking your face, bro. What I was trying to say is smack their last names together and you get Chindell. Anyway, Jamie has the ability to talk to plants and Robin can communicate with insects. And I sort of really love the concept of this book because these two come together and kind of become a nature superhero duo. Basically, they go on this trip to the Peruvian rainforest and they end up working together to take down the enemy of nature by combining their abilities. Like, what a cool and different concept. I'm really looking forward to giving this a go. I'm curious to know if they're going up against an actual villain or if the enemy that they're going to be facing is just anything that kind of harms nature. I'm very curious about that. I'm obviously gonna have to read this book in order to find out. I'll be sure to leave more information on this book down below in the description. And the last book that I received in the mail is The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston. This is the Booksplosion book of the month for the month of May, and I am so looking forward to this book because I loved Geekarella by the same author, and this book is like set in the same universe as Geekarella. Even though Geekarella is set in our world, it's not like it's set in its own world, but I'm pretty sure we'll see some of the same characters that we do see in Geekarella, which I'm pumped for. Geekarella was like an unexpected love situation for me. I was not expecting to love that book as much as I did, and now I am complete and utter trash for it, which I'm okay with. I had expectations going into that book that it was going to be cheesy and not for me, but it was for me. I loved it. That book was like a love letter to fandoms, and I feel like this book is going to be kind of in that same vein. You don't have to read Geekarella to read this book, but you should read Geekarella because it's excellent. You don't want to miss it. The movie Starfield that was in that book is going to be a big part of this book because we follow one of the actresses from that movie. So we follow that actress, but we also follow a fangirl. The fangirl has a mission in this book, and that mission is to do everything in her power to save her favorite character from being killed off, and that character is being played by the actress. But unfortunately, the actress is just kind of overplaying the role because of negative feedback that she's received. Apparently, the fangirl ends up looking just like the actress, so they end up like switching places. I don't know if it's on accident or if it's on purpose, but a big part of this book is the fact that the Starfield sequel script has been leaked, and so they're both working hard to track down this person and take them down, essentially. I'm guessing that a part of them changing places has to do with that, but I don't know. I'll find out when I read it. I don't want to know too much going into this book because I did the same thing with Geekarella and was blown away by that book, so hopefully I end up being blown away by this book as well. There is a super dope pre-order campaign happening for this book, so if you want to pre-order this book and get some goodies, I will leave more information for that down below in the description. Now that I've hauled some books, I'm going to be going to a cafe to get some work done. I'm going to spend like an hour hopefully getting some work done, and then I will get back to reading. Let's get it. Guys, I feel like I have gotten no reading done. Even though I have gotten reading done, it just feels like I haven't gotten enough reading done. That's why I hate readathons. I feel so much pressure right now. I just spent like an hour and a half waiting at a cafe for the green light for all my social media posts to go live for the Michelle Obama thing, and I hardly could read there because I was super anxious, and it was kind of loud in there too, so I was just like, this is not happening. I read like maybe 3 pages of a manga, and then I was just like, nope. But I have been listening to the Flying Lessons audiobook. I've been listening to it in the car, and I'm going to be listening to it now because I'm going to a park and I'm gonna take a walk because it's a beautiful day. So I'm gonna plug into my audiobook and get to listening to this book. I don't have too much commentary on it right now. I'm only like 2, maybe 3 stories in, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm gonna go to the park right now because I need to get to reading. This needs to get to happen and we need to get with it. Also, I have a rant coming about the Scribd app later, so look forward to that. I need to do some major ranting.
Balancing on a weary line, too scared to trust you and jump down. I'll keep my status quo up here, won't let anybody come near. I'll fix it on my own. 29 years I've been the same, trying so hard to run from shame. But how long can I keep up the pace? To fool myself I don't need grace. Will you be there to catch my fall? Need to be sure you'll hear my call. Darkness surround me and I don't know why it's so hard to let go.
Okay, so update. I finished White Rose by Kip Wilson. I read this in the cafe. I really liked it. I will share more thoughts at the end of this video. It did make me a little bit emotional, I'm not gonna lie. My eyes were swelling a little bit and I was like, why are my eyeballs doing this? And I'm 104 pages into Flying Lessons and other stories so far. I've been listening to the audiobook on Scribd, which I want to rant about Scribd a little bit. Scribd is such a glitchy reading app. Like, my audiobooks half the time don't even work, or they'll freeze up on certain chapters. And I personally haven't had this problem yet, but I know for people who use it often and who download a lot of books from there, they're given a limit with how many books they can download, which doesn't make sense when a part of their marketing is the fact that they have unlimited titles that you can download and read. It just doesn't make sense to me, and it makes me frustrated on behalf of people who have that problem. I'm just really frustrated with the app because it keeps like getting frozen on different chapters, and then sometimes my audiobooks just don't work, and I'm just like, what is happening here? Get it together. Anyway, right now I'm gonna take a break, and I think that I will get back to reading after I eat dinner tonight. Okay, I just finished dinner. I had a nice little break from reading. It's currently 5:40, so I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go outside and read because it's a beautiful day and like I just need to be outside right now, even though I'm pretty sure being outside is not the best for my allergies right now because apparently Missourians are being hit with allergies early this year. I just read an article about that while I was eating, so that explains a lot. That explains why this is in pain. But regardless, I'm gonna risk it and go outside and read. It's almost 7:30. I just got back inside from reading outside. The sun has set. It was a glorious, beautiful sunset. I'm glad that I sat outside for it, even though it was distracting me from reading my manga. Somebody drove by and they had their windows down and they were listening to Monster X and I almost screamed, K-pop! But then I didn't. I wish I would have though, because maybe they would have pulled into my driveway and been like, yo, let's be best friends. I need more K-pop friends in my life. Anyway, I finished volume 13 of Tokyo Ghoul. Success! I didn't end up liking this volume, unfortunately. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I have forgotten a lot of things that have happened throughout this series. I just kind of at some point stopped caring, and I don't know why. The thing is, I love the main character of this series. Kaneki is one of the best main characters ever, but this series as a whole has just been a big miss for me. It started out really promising, but then as the series progressed, it just began to fall flat. Kind of like how when you open a soda and at first it's like fresh, it tastes delicious, it's got the flavor, and then like a few days later it's flavorless, it gets flat. That's what the series has been like overall for me. It started out good, then it got a little weak. I only have one volume left in the series and then then I will have completed it. You guys should let me know down below in the comments if you have read the spin-off series. I think it's called Tokyo Ghoul 3, I believe. Let me know if that series is worth picking up despite me not loving this series. I need to know. Also, this might be TMI, but I have a zit that popped up on my face. What do you know? I'm human. It's been really annoying because every time I read, I can see it right here as I'm looking down, which I guess I could just solve the problem by doing this, but you know, common sense. What's that? Anyway, right now I think I'm going to tackle another 100 pages of Restore Me. Then I'm going to finish up flying lessons, and then I will hop back to Restore Me, and then hopefully I will have reached my goal. We shall see. Hopefully I can do this. Let's stop talking about it and let's go read. Yeah! I just finished Restore Me. That ending was quite unexpected. I did not see that coming. I will not say anything, but wow. I'm gonna need to let this sink in a little bit before I know how I feel because wow. Right now all I can say is wow. Wow. I think right now I'm gonna take a break from reading because I have just been reading all day. I need a break. I need a moment. So I'm gonna take an hour. It is currently 9:30, so I'm gonna take an hour. I will be back at 10:30 to read more. Yeah. It's time for sleep. I'll update you guys tomorrow. Okay guys, time to wrap up this video. It's actually been a few days since the readathon happened, but your boy got really sick the day after the readathon. And by sick, I mean allergies took over my body and turned me into a monster. It was a lot of fun. I'm gonna tell you guys all that I read. I'm not gonna go into full details on my thoughts on these books just to save time. I'm also gonna be putting up a books I've read recently video soon, so look out for that. The first book I completed was White Rose by Kip Wilson. Then I reread Tokyo Ghoul Volume 13. I finished Restore Me by Tahereh Mafi, and I might end up doing a book talk on this book because I took extensive notes, so maybe I'll make that happen. I don't know, we'll find out. Then I managed to finish Flying Lessons and Other Stories by a bunch of different authors. Finally, I had like 20 minutes left and I got this much into Tokyo Ghoul Volume 14. So those were the books I read. Look out for a books I've read recently coming up where I will share with you more of my thoughts on those books. Overall, I really enjoyed this experience. I kind of went into it a little hesitant because I really felt like it was gonna put me into a reading slump, but if anything, I feel more motivated to read now that I've done this experience. I think something that helped me is that I picked a lot of different books. Like I had a manga that I was reading, I had a book in verse I was reading, I had an anthology, I had a novel, so I kind of had a nice variety. And also for two of the books, I listened to audiobooks while I was reading them, and that really helped me as well. That definitely kept me on track. I also didn't necessarily force myself to read. Like if I ever got to a point where I was like, I just don't want to read right now, I allowed myself not to read. I took a break. I wasn't like crazy hard on myself if I took a break or something. So overall, this was a great experience. I liked it a lot. I would do it again. Maybe next time I won't start at midnight, because that was like one of the only negative things is that I didn't like starting at midnight. I should have started just like whenever I felt like reading. But overall, it was fun. You guys should let me know down below in the comments if you have ever done a readathon like this, and if you have tips for other people who want to do them. Leave your tips down below in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe, or go and hit that bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thanks for watching, guys. I hope your day is bright and that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye! -oh!